All right, start now. One
Ladies and
Piece
gentlemen,
chapter
how's...
8.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. One Piece chapter 870. Farewell. Go ahead, Iggy.
How's everybody doing? It's my return to the One Piece review. Chapter 870. It's titled Farewell. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first chapter after a hiatus, right? Or
Yes, this is the chapter after hiatus.
yeah, this is our first chapter back from his most recent hiatus. We continue the cover story of Luffy's allies from his pirate fleet from Dressrosa. And we begin now with Bartolomeo, who is just, I guess, causing trouble in whatever area he's in at the moment.
Go.
But we start this chapter off right where we left off in the previous one, and in that giant tank that got Capone created, Big Mom is just attacking it and just being physical with it. Chiffon is trying to use herself to basically shield Capone and stop Big Mom and calm her down from attacking, but it doesn't change anything. And Big Mom is just attacking, and everyone else just posted up waiting to see what will happen. Big Mom is continuing to attack. At this point, Capone is really being severely damaged by it, to the point where Luffy decides that he thinks he needs to step in. Luffy attempts to fight back at Big Mom. He's held back by Chopper, and he's reminded that this is not a physical mission, nor a mission where there's going to be any fighting or violence from the Straw Hats. He's reminded that if it was one of those missions, then Zoro would be here, and that it's refrain from attacking. Luffy's reminded that they succeeded in their plans to save the Vinsmoke family, who's all there inside Capone's body, and Brook reassures him of and reminds him of like the mission itself. And at this point, Capone is just being absolutely torn apart. Capone remarks that he doesn't really care about what happens to the Straw Hats, but he's not going to allow his family or his crew members to be hurt in any way. And he shows his resolve in a moment, and he designs a plan to counter this, and it involves uh, Gangster Gastino, aka Caesar Clown. So
Destino.
yeah,
He.
and then so Caesar's he's doing his thing. He's acting all wacky and reacting like oh, I didn't sign up for all that. And at that point, Sanji chapter focuses onto Sanji, where Sanji finally gets to communicate with the judge, and Judge asks him why he saved Sanji, and it's that moment where Sanji dramatically remarks that he did it primarily because his boss, and his boss that he's referring to is owner Zeph, the man who basically installed principles to him. He says that his boss would not have liked that. And we flash back to Sanji's past, and we see how Sanji has basically taken what has happened to him in the past and gone stronger from it and matured from it. And he basically points out that the Vinsmoke Sanji, as they knew him, died at the sea that day, and that he's a new man. And this new Sanji is a man that would consider himself weak and less than a man if he were to just watch back and see them die. But that's not to say though that Sanji is just ready to take them in. He's very firm with his family, and he yelled and told Judge that he's not his father, and he told them not to show their face to him again. And Luffy and the crew members are watching as Sanji has his moment with his family to let this out. And it's at that moment where Sanji, at his firmest and at his strongest, that they decide, okay, and Bez turns around and tells them, Judge turns around and tells Capone to open the gate, and it's the Vinsmokes who clear an entrance so that they can come out and try to attack with Big Mom. At that point, the Vinsmokes, they basically stay in their character and everything. Luffy wants to help him out, but Sanji waves him off. And Judge says, we don't need to be indebted to a failure. And Sanji, he recognizes and acknowledges that that's just their way of dealing with things. And they go out, and they're all out there along with Caesar Clown and Capone in the first wave of attack to Big Mom. And everybody's just shooting at them, and it's just an absolute chaotic mess. And Ichiji, comes in with his cool cloak, and in a few well-drawn panels, he shields himself from Big Mom's fire. Big Mom attacks with her heaven and everything. And he's smacking around Ichiji and Reiju, and they're all kind of shielding themselves and trying to protect themselves. Ichiji says some of his stuff. He resolves that he needs to complete the mission at all costs, so he's putting himself in harm's way. And Reiju sees Luffy and Sanji all preparing an attack. They rise out, they jump out. Luffy does his Gum Gum elephant gun and Sanji does an attack with his Diablo Jambe.
Diablo Jambe cross shot.
Cross strike, yeah.
Cross strike.
So Luffy and him do a synchronized attack, not even planning it to be synchronized, and the rest of the crew kind of have those moments like, what are these idiots doing? And that's how we leave off the chapter as the two strongest Straw Hats on the island at the moment clash with the Yonko Big Mom.
Yeah. All right.
He said the two strongest.
Yeah, the two strongest. Debatable, but
Two strongest Straw Hats on the island.
yeah. All right. Miguel. Thoughts overall on the chapter?
Chapter was GOAT as fuck.
Was it just GOAT?
Nah, it was lit. It was lit. I like
Was
it a
it
lot.
just lit?
Forgetting a word.
Yo, what did you say? Oh, I got you. She was smiling.
It was?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, in an action sense and in like a character sense, it was really really intense, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was good. I liked it because, like, I mean, like I like the Capone's part where it showed that he actually has some sense of loyalty.
Yeah,
like even though like they portray him as a like in the beginning of the arc,
gangster,
some gangster guy who feeds sharks to his own with his own crew or whatever. He looked like some type of loyalty in him.
Yeah, he cares about the family. He cares about the family.
It's there. He's a godman.
Yeah,
he's a godfather.
Yeah, when he said my beloved crew is here and my wife and my son, and I'm not about to let them die.
I was like, oh, Brolic. MVP, Brolic.
Oh man, Capone's one of my favorite supernovas now because of this.
He's lit, bro.
Oda is making to be honest, my least favorite supernova when we first introduced was Capone. Capone was my least favorite.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dude had that smile. He was talking.
What were you saying about Capone?
He's one of the best. He's one of my favorite supernovas now.
He turned heads in the moment, the chapter with
when he first fought Sanji.
When Sanji was first revealed to be a Big Smoke, a Vince Smoke, that was when it was just like, wow, this guy is dang. Like, because I remember before that, I was like, I didn't hate Capone, but I didn't think much of him, or I didn't think like he was like up there with the supernovas, like in terms of like what we've seen of them in like in the character and stuff. But now this guy's a beast, man.
Yeah. I've been saying people were like, oh, he's gonna betray Luffy, but I don't think so, man. He's an honorable dude to his family. Man.
I mean, he's very straight up. He said,
I don't think Luffy aligns himself with people that are like completely untrustworthy.
He has a solid sense, I guess, for people.
But go ahead and go.
So like the chapter's good. I liked how Sanji and Luffy came out to block Big Mom's attack. And then Luffy's like, I thought you said you wasn't gonna help, and he's like, yo, but I meant that for you, nigga. I came out to help. That's just Brolic, boy. Brolic chapter.
All right, Kevin. Okay.
Kevin, you ready? Here. Go.
Overall thoughts.
Kevin,
yes.
Go.
All right, Young. I guess he wants to be safe for last. Go ahead, Young.
No, I'm going.
Oh, okay.
I'm going.
Was he playing music or something?
Okay. This chapter was very glorious. Thank you.
Oda's assistant, Bobby Roode, came in and helped.
It was, man. The glorious chapter. But beginning, the cover page was very indicative of the kind of guy that being a night Mickey. Okay, Bartolomeo, for example.
Copyright strike.
Good night.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Automatically.
Oh snap!
It needs to be more than like a minute.
Yeah, Bobby. Bartolomeo. I was about to say Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo. His first chapter. Him. From what because I know he's taken over he said 150 different towns. I think that was number 151. I guess it's like a hobby of his to just take over town. Because the thing he said in the chapter there, first I'll take out the big guy first or whatever. So that wasn't a place that he was going to that he was new to. I mean, that he'd been to previously. That was a new area that he was taking over.
Okay.
The beginning of the chapter where pretty much Big Mom is whooping on Capone. And he's just looking terrible.
I'm surprised
Big Mom
takes any of her punches like in the face like that.
It's Big Father, man. Come on.
But still,
it's not like
he was leaking. He was leaking on the inside.
Yo, he was leaking last chapter. Yeah, but what was I saying? That means his physical body constitution is probably like super super strong in and of itself. Yeah. The shots that Big Mom took at Chiffon regarding Lola, that was like super super low.
Yeah, he's like, his wife, right?
He said, yeah. And Luffy getting, being regular Luffy is like, yo, I don't like what's happening, so I'm about to jump out. And, after that,
listen,
yeah, I mean, that's just this is goat nigga shit. Chopper being able to hold him. I remember when Brook was pretty much telling, yo, we have everything. All we have to do is dip. And he's like, no, that's not gonna happen. Then you had Sanji. I think this was probably the best part of everything, where Sanji pretty much said that he didn't say, instead of making like, oh, like I wanted to have a touching reunion with his family or something, it was more so like, I don't want to go down a path where Luffy will look at me and I can't be seen in his eyes some kind of a stain, like. He was pretty much telling the judge that Judge pretty much had no more power over him. And that scene where like it's flashback to when Judge was standing over him and saying, "Oh, you're not my son," and like, "Oh, you're not my father." That was very like that was a great character moment for Sanji. Then you had the part where Judge pretty much in his own stubborn way, like how you're like very prideful, you can't admit that he pretty much said, we're gonna sacrifice ourselves for you, as pretty much what the fuck is the word, to pretty much atone for the sins of what we did. And Niji is having that little stupid ass look on his face. That nigga's fucked up the head.
I don't know if Judge did it to atone, like he regretted it. He just kind of like.
No, I think he did regret it. Like
he said specifically like, I don't want to owe trash, which obviously is bravado. It's obviously bravado, but also at the same time, like he knows he owes him. Like,
no, he knows he's wrong. I think he knows.
I don't know if that's.
No, because this wrong. Judge has been working towards this.
But I want to get
German. You want me to leave that?
Yeah.
Alone.
Later. Yeah,
I'll leave it alone. Okay. So pretty much, Luffy actually listens and says, "I'm not gonna jump out there. I'm gonna be smart and go with the plan." And at this point, Judge jumps out, and Sanji. What the fuck is that? And Sanji him had made up his mind that even though they'd done all these things to him, like there's still blood. Like it's like one of those situations where it's like, even though you've done all this terrible shit to me, I still have a connection with you, and I might hate you, but I can't kind of deny it. So he felt kind of compelled to go out there and defend with them. So that's why the next scene after that, when they jump out and Capone capsizes back into like his regular human form, he gets out of Big Father, and Caesar's supposed to be flying them away. From what I get, Sanji decided to jump out, and Luffy, seeing what Sanji was doing, jumped out too. So it's not like Luffy, like I kept saying on like Brago's stream, like, yo, why did Luffy jump out? He was supposed to follow the plan, but it was Sanji. From the dialogue that I saw, it was Sanji who actually jumped out before Luffy. And the Vin Smoke's actually very strong. You can see
Wait, is Kevin still giving his thoughts on the chapter?
Yeah. Oh. You can see Reiju taking that Prometheus hit. Good shit. Like a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's still standing outside Demon Lady of Mont. Perospero, all of them. Okay. I think the one part of the chapter that I was kind of looking for was Pudding, because she's been missing.
Okay.
In regards to like,
Didn't she get low-key just debunked and fodderized 2 weeks ago by Sanji? It was just like, you're not that important.
And also the most important part, Sanji.
Yeah. This has to be the final part. Sanji kicked the woman. He kicked the woman.
Yes, he kicked Big Mom, nigga. Did you not pay attention?
A lot of people were making note of that.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
I didn't even.
Big Mom is a
think about
female,
that.
Wesley.
I
He gave birth to
forget.
40-something kids. 42.
Wait, did he kick her or did he just
He
counter
kicked
her
her.
attack?
He kicked her.
I don't know.
because
She was attacking. They kind of countered.
No, but that's a curt attack.
All right, Ibrahim, what are your overall thoughts on that?
I thought this was a really, really good chapter and a tremendous character moment for Sanji with him dealing with his family. What I like so much about it was specifically about like in regards to how like there's a lot of like I guess like the Vin Smokes the opinion on them is kind of polarizing in terms of like about them and whether they're disappointing or like or the direction of their characters and when it seemed like they were just gonna kind of just be like redeemed and just like forgiven and like there was this kind of like thought in my head like maybe somewhat of a trepidation that oh man are they just gonna like have an end of arc celebration with them and they're gonna be nice and happy with them and like it doesn't feel right to do that with these characters given their history with Sanji and to see Sanji basically just acknowledge like look like he was merciful and graceful and he did the right thing but he wasn't just like all right so accept me
cool
or he and
cool
he didn't like cry on their shoulder like father or and nothing like that it was just like yo like, I don't mess with you. So you better get on out of here. Like, in my face. Just letting you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of slavery in this chapter, like back to back.
From Sanji, yo man, he pulled his nuts out and said like, this is what the situation is. I didn't kill you, but I'm not cool with you. Yeah. Get out of my face. And I was just like, man, Sanji.
That's the panel where he's like, my boss like it. I was like,
Sanji,
bro.
Sanji was flexing
and I started to feel something a little bit when it cut to it because because when I was reading, when I was reading it, right, first reaction, I just woke up, so I'm like, who's he talking about? His boss? I'm like, Luffy?
I thought Luffy, yeah.
Yeah, and I turn next page, and then it shows Zeph, and I'm like, oh, yo, Sanji's so goat, man.
Yeah, it was interesting that like juxtaposition since like Zeph is like his adopted father and they
kind of look alike.
And no, just the dynamic.
Just his moral code comes from the guy. He's laying his moral code on his real father that he got from the guy who basically played father to him.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's really I like it a lot.
That was a much smarter way to do it than to say like Luffy wouldn't like it. So I thought that was.
Then to just say what?
Yeah. Than to just simply say like Luffy, to put Luffy in that position.
So I like that like the Vince Smokes also they didn't just like switch up and stuff. So I like that both characters stayed like kind of stayed face and stayed how they were. Yeah. They stayed in character. There wasn't like this retarded shift, and they Sanji like remained like a man about the whole thing. Yeah. And they were just like they respected Sanji because of how he came off that they were just like okay, and
it was the opposite of the crying over pudding scene and all that stuff, and he's like,
chill.
He was like, bro, like he put his slate down. He put the Diablo Jambe down for me.
If he would have had another moment where like he just like collapses and cries and he's like, Dad,
the Colossus.
He's like he told him what's up, and then the Vince Smokes were just like, all right, and they walked off. They understood. Sanji came off in a way that like you have no choice but to just respect what he said.
Yeah. Judge himself. He respected it. He was like, all right, like in his own way, he respected it. It was like,
yeah, exactly.
Judge is a huge ass nigga. Yeah. You see how big that nigga is? And Sanji just grabbed him by the neck and said, "Bitch, bring your ass here." Listen to what I'm saying. But you being continue.
No, yeah, thank you. I was gonna, so I like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of good lines, like the phone one and how small a man would I be if I watched
God, I forgot.
That was like when I was just like I had like that like Tiger Woods fist up like yes.
I forgot to say one last thing. Oh yeah, Wesley, about Capone. You know how mafias are? He exemplifies pretty much like the mafia idea of like not betraying your friends, like loyalty and all that.
Well, the family, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was his mafia family. Like he protected his subordinate to his direct family, like a mafia boss would. So like that's those
Dun,
the
dun,
people.
dun, dun,
He's only loyal
dun,
to the
dun.
people in that circle. Like, loyal to those people. So that makes sense. But what else you reading?
Big Strong?
No, that's the situation, and
Yeah,
yeah, man, I loved it.
yeah, it was really good.
Loved it. It was a great chapter. The ending too with Luffy and Sanji. Like,
Yeah. I like. I didn't
Definitely,
expect Sanji to come out and fight.
Oda's good at
Yeah.
Oda's good at doing those kinds of things where it's like the ending of a chapter on a big splash page where the characters do something like that, and it's like, whoa, So
this
it
art was
was dope. It
looking
was dope.
stupid lit.
So it was looking
Dumbly?
dumb
Dumbly?
clean.
Dumb.
Chapter's looking dumb clean, boy.
Bonus?
Boneless. Exactly.
Young, you still there?
Yeah.
All right. Overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts.
Bones.
This chapter was 100 out of 10.
Knowledge.
Times
Schnallick
10.
chapter. What else? Everybody really said what I said. I don't really want to repeat, but
Did this chapter make you want to schnall like your
Go-
brolic?
yeah, it really did.
Yeah,
Made me
my
wanna eat some-
leg was hard for 2
Made me
hours.
want to eat some beef franks.
I'm not lying.
Beef franks. Yo, when Kevin said yesterday, he's like, I'm just trying to warm up my beef franks. I was like,
Made me want to eat some beef franks.
I almost choked. I was like, who says beef franks?
Nigga, no, they're
Freaking-
called beef franks. Nigga, what do you mean?
Oh boy.
That's what it says on the package.
Anyway, Coons, anyway.
I'm weak.
Freaking, I really like the characterization with Sanji here. So
God
it
love him.
it wasn't really just like one of those action chapters where,
Yeah.
Oda always gotta give us the GOAT characterization. People always hate on Oda's characterization, but
Yeah.
once again,
When he does it, it's
When he
always
does it,
really,
it's-
really good.
Fire, bro.
It's
Like, this was
yo.
this was like the Usopp versus Luffy kind of like conversation, like just a conversation, which is what
And you
most
can
of
tell by the way, like he
chapter
just kind of like panels it and structures
Yeah.
it and draws it. That is an important moment. Like you could tell, like there'll be
Yeah.
panels where he's just drawing it regular, but in this thing, it just feels like really
was.
impactful.
The
It feels like a
animation
dramatic
just
moment.
increases so much. Like when you
Yeah.
Is it me?
but
Is it
it's
me
weird,
though,
it's weird, like,
or
the art-
the panel
does-
where he was
the art-
grabbing Judge didn't look different. Like the art looked weird. I don't know.
yeah,
You gotta pay me, but like I'm just like in general, like it's not even just like he won't turn up the art that much. Like he'll get better, but like it's more like just the way he like sets the mood up, where like you just feel like it's a serious one. Because like One Piece is always like has like a lot going on, a lot of people like in the picture and stuff. And when things are usually frantic, there's a lot of characters and things are just wacky. Wacky and wild.
Sparse, right?
But then like I don't know, it's almost as if like in the story time stands still for certain moments.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where like you could feel like
The
it's
focus
just like
on the characters. and stuff.
yeah, like it's almost like time just stalled. We just got face to face with these two, and Sanji said what was up. So
Yeah.
that was great.
Well, it was a great moment for Sanji. If you're a Sanji
I
fan,
agree.
this is the chapter you've
Yeah,
been
I'm a
waiting for.
Sanji
You've been
fan,
waiting
and
for the entire
I was like, yes.
But
Yeah.
what did you?
It was.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say what else.
Wait, can I make one more statement real quick?
Go ahead.
I just want to say I love how like because like it's a pet peeve of mine when like characters that don't deserve to be 100% redeemed and just forgiven and loved and accepted by certain people do, and like I call it, like the Obito effect, I guess.
Yeah.
And I love like how in One Piece, like for example, Bellamy, he was like, I realized all my wrongdoing, but at this point I've come so far and I've done all this, dedicated my life to Doflamingo. I'm just gonna fight it to the end, and it is what it is. I acknowledge that I took the wrong path, but I can't go back on it. And now with this thing, the Vince Smokes are just like, whatever. Like they're not just gonna be like, all right, like Sanji, like we're just gonna treat you differently. So I just love that so much. I love how they, like. They're not just gonna switch up on dudes.
They didn't. They're like there's characters who are adults. Like they've been living this way their whole lives. Like one event is not gonna completely.
It's not gonna. It's not just. Yeah, it may affect them and make them redirect or change certain things, but
it doesn't like rectify
negate
everything that
anything. It
happened.
doesn't. Yeah, rectify, and they know it, and Sanji knows it. And
yeah, it was kind of emotional. Like it had an extra impact for me because like that's Sanji's like father.
Exactly.
Like he's talking to his dad like this.
Hold up.
And they have this long history. part of the way Sanji turned out is because of that history, and for him to like finally confront him with this like all this stuff that he had to deal with, from like being abandoned and all that, and like the Vince Smoke legacy and all that stuff. Like the fact that he like got to have this final speech, because I'm guessing like this is it, and after this they're gonna fight in part ways or whatever. Like, and they're gonna help the Straw Hats and everybody in the Pirates escape. So this is like his last goodbye, kind of like his closure with his father and with their relationship. So I thought it
was really well done. Yeah, I just really liked this chapter. Even the action was good too. The stuff, especially at the end with like Luffy and Sanji. I like their interaction in this chapter. Caesar, as always, he's pretty funny.
Yeah,
always being a wussy. If it is what it is.
Yes. Capone gave him that chest squeeze.
Had to give him the heart squeeze. Yeah, it was just. I enjoyed this chapter.
Right. What would you rate it? What's your favorite panel, and what do you want to see next week? Young.
I'd give this a solid 11 out of 10.
Times 2,000.
Yes. Freaking, you said favorite panel?
Yes.
Probably, there was that one last panel. The one where they're attacking with the Sanji with the Diablo Jam crush strike, and yeah, that one, kind of like that. That one stood out. Besides that, or where Sanji's holding, as I mentioned earlier, he's holding whatchamacallit's name by the neck.
By the collar?
Yeah, by the collar. And next week, I want to see. I expect to see Big Mom like retaliate to this, because I don't know. I kind of wanted to progress quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like we should. I kind of don't want a lot of stalling. Yeah. It'd be good if like Oda just has Big Mom's retaliation quickly, and hopefully if they can get out of that all by the next chapter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably a little idealistic, but
I think
yeah.
Given what Oda said recently, like on what about the ending of this arc, he said like we were halfway there. We were like 20-something chapters ago or something. I don't know, but it was a while ago. But yeah. I think this arc should probably end in the next about 10 chapters, 12 chapters.
Probably, definitely.
Yeah,
I feel like it'll end before either like right before the ending of August or the ending of August.
All right, Lisi, are you still there?
Yeah.
Thoughts on the chapter overall?
A chapter overall?
Yes.
Oh,
a rating and favorite panel, and what you want to see next week.
I think the chapter was 10 out of 10. My favorite panel was probably seeing Capone's son with the stubble. Was kind of funny. Seriously, I actually did like the last panel with Luffy and Sanji both attacking. It's pretty interesting. What I expect to see next week, probably some more conflict, and let's just get some attacking. I want to see more of like Big Mom's attacks and stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Prometheus. I need to see that Zeus attack, man. Prometheus work.
Or Miguel. Or Kevin.
About what? What did you ask?
Score overall, favorite panel.
Let's see. 870 chapters. 10 out of 10 chapters.
I forgot to ask you on MVP.
Oh,
MVP.
Yeah, young
MVP.
Sanji for sure.
Okay.
Sanji for sure.
Capone's son. Stubble kid.
Capone too.
Yeah, Capone.
There could only be one most valuable player, my niggas.
He's second place. Maybe first.
Yeah. Capone, hey man, because you expect Sanji to be cool, but Capone.
Yeah, he came clutch.
Yeah. He's clutch. They would have been dead without him. But Kevin, favorite panel and what do
MVP?
you want to see? Yeah.
Favorite panel. Ooh, there were a lot of good-looking Sanji panels, but I think the one
Pause.
with the last one with the Diablo Jamba cross strikes and the that one, or there was a panel where Judge was kind of like reflecting on what Sanji had said, and it was really well drawn. Or the one where Sanji and Judge were like face to face.
Yeah.
That panel was looking.
Yeah, it's very detailed. It's very detailed and realistic.
It might be that one. It's either that one or the last page, the double spread. Was there anything else you asked? Because I didn't hear.
What do you expect to see next week?
What I expect to see next week? The Tomate box is probably gonna blow up and cause the needed distraction. I still think the Vince Most are gonna get taken out of this because they still have to get through the rest of that army. Demon Lady Amon, I don't know why she just go for some reason just chilling over there. Big News is gonna do some coon shit. I just feel it. I feel it. Dufeld, he's gonna do some stuff too. So I think next chapter, Dufeld, Big News are gonna be involved in some way. We're gonna see continued clashes with Big Mom and versus Sanji and Luffy. Judge, in my opinion, at the end of the chapter, probably next time, Judge and the Vinsmo family are gonna hold back the rest of the Big Mom army, and Big Mom is probably gonna be distracted by something. What else? And so I feel like the Vinsmos are gonna be sacrificed in the next chapter or two.
I kind of agree with that. I think they're gonna start dropping and getting like really injured.
Yeah,
like,
because
like holding them off.
Rage is already taking heat right now. Oh, but
yeah, they're gonna take some.
Let's not forget this one thing. Sanji hit a woman.
Yeah, that's important, I guess. I mean, has he ever hit an ugly woman before? Because he does have that weird, like he almost doesn't treat.
No, remember even when he was facing no. Remember when technically they're men, but even when he was on the Okama Island, he didn't really engage them because they look like females, like that. He was just running the entire time. That's why he didn't engage them. He just blocked their attacks.
I think he was afraid. But Miguel, you still there?
Yeah.
But yeah, he did attack Big Mom.
Score overall for the chapter, MVP, favorite panel. What do you want to see next week?
Score, snarly out of 10.
Yeah.
My favorite panel.
Yes.
It's the last panel with Sanji and Luffy kicking and punching Big Mom, blocking her attack. MVP, it has to go to Capone. Yeah, like the Monday Capone's like, yeah, that was lit. That was lit. That was lit. What I want to see next week. I'm
gonna do a multiple. Oh my god.
Yes.
I want to see more. I want to see more action, bro. I want to see more clashing between Big Mom and Sanji. Like the whole Sanji kicking Big Mom, bro. He hit a woman.
Yeah.
Finally.
It's over. The seal is broken.
The seal is broken.
Yeah, but I don't think he discriminates when it comes to like who he is. He just sees if you're a woman or not. I'm not gonna touch
you. I think they're gonna like have some kind of conversation about him hitting a woman. Or
How many
like,
ugly females has he met besides the Okamas though?
A lot. The Kokoro in Water 7.
Yeah, but he never had to throw hands with her.
Koreha and
he never had to throw hands with her either.
Yeah, but he was around her. He said stuff like, "I don't count that as a woman." He was like, "That was a woman" when he met her and stuff. He's like, "I don't count her." But yeah, he's never fought them. Ibrahim, are you still there?
Yeah. I just hopped back in.
No, I say Ibrahim. All right, I guess he's not here, so we'll never know which chapter he's. All right, I guess my favorite panel was the one where Sanji was like, "My boss would have liked that." Classic One Piece Dawn panel. Like, well done, picture Sanji. Dramatic moment. I get a chapter 9 out of 10. Next week, I think we're gonna start seeing Vince Smokes drop, and Smate Bako and some more Big Mom attacks, and hopefully Carrot, since Carrot was not in the chapter at all. But yeah.
Oh, Carrot. I don't
Yeah.
see Carrot having any like super important.
She didn't
'Cause
even
at this point in time,
Yo, I'm back. So what are we talking about now?
she did make a
Wait.
cameo.
Did she?
Pretty sure she was in the chapter.
All right,
What are you
Ibrahima,
talking- what-
Ibrahima,
what-
rating MVP, favorite panel, and what do you expect to see next week?
Favorite panel? One of those panels where Sanji was just being a firm and stern man with his father. MVP is Sanji. Rating is a 9.5. What else?
MVP.
Oh yeah, Sanji. What I want to see next week? Oh man, I
She
don't,
said that as a matter of fact.
yeah, and
That's pretty
Yo,
fine.
did she throw the sun at Rager?
yeah,
Good night.
yep, and what's it called?
And Rager
Nah,
tanked it.
I think she was shielded.
No,
by
Grady didn't
Ichiji.
tank it. She used her
Didn't
race
Ichiji
suit.
use his
No,
cape?
She
shield?
tanked it herself. Cause
I
she
don't- I
was
don't-
firing. Big Mom was firing an attack on
Ichiji got
somebody.
hit by the same thing though, and he shielded himself with his
No,
cape.
but remember this. Somebody was Big Mom was throwing an attack.
Yeah, she got
I think
burned.
a judge, and then she jumped in the way.
She got burned,
And then Ichiji was wondering what's wrong with her. From
Yeah,
what I saw.
he said complete the mission at all costs. Like, don't be a rookie.
So yeah, she didn't tank it. She just used her wings to fucking.
But all right, so what do you expect to see next? What do you want to see next week?
One Piece is one of those series that's just like wherever Oda goes, I just hope it's a great direction.
Is the plan gonna work?
What plan?
Is what plan?
The Gastino plan, the flyway.
No,
That's out of here plan.
not gonna
Is that
work.
gonna work?
Well, something's gonna make it work, but it's not gonna work by itself.
Dogtooth and Smoothie are still around there, so like they gotta handle them too.
Daifuku?
Yeah, they're all still there. So they're gonna have some problems.
They're not gonna handle them. They're gonna be distracted.
They're gonna
I'm
have
telling
some problems.
The Tamate box is gonna
Luffy
blow up.
While the Ventimokes hold off with mom. But yeah, I think that's the chapter. Any closing statements? Anything? Is Oda good? Is this arc the greatest arc in One Piece? Is this moment the greatest moment in One Piece?
You're not serious. Look.
Yeah. All right. Sign off for us, Lucy.
Oh, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. We do One Piece chapter reviews every time they come out.
This is your glorious,
Notorious.
your glorious reviewer, Kevin, signing off.